Good morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
Oh, and oh my stars and garters, Saige.
Yeah, Anthony?
What a day it was for video games.
Yeah. Yesterday, we had two big sets of developer announcements.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Anthony?
I do. You don't need to. No,
Yeah?
I do. No, I know. No,
That's-
I do. I know. I know.
Well, how was your day other than that?
I know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. We've moved.
We moved on.
Oh, all right. Yeah. It was good. It was good. There wasn't a lot yesterday. Unfortunately. If I had to be honest, not much yesterday.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Here's the thing, Saige.
Yeah, Anthony?
You know?
I do know.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. We're messing with the settings once again, so things keep changing how they look a little bit by bit. Do bear with us. But also, hey, good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
I feel like we should check in, say hello,
Hello.
remind you all
Good
that Alex is
morning.
here, in case you missed Wednesday's episode.
Yeah, I'm
We're-
here. I'm in the chair.
Joined. What's up?
There's a hot ankle debate going on.
What's the hot ankle
Hot
debate
ankle
going
debate
on
in
in the
the
chat?
chat?
There's a hot ankle debate going on in the chat about how much ankle I show, whether I show this much ankle on purpose, whether I own socks. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm like Mickey Mouse. It's no shows.
I was gonna say, in which way are you like Mickey Mouse?
In a lot of ways, but in the you know how I'm always telling you to watch the new Mickey Mouse cartoons because I think they're amazing. They're so good, and there's one where somebody is like stealing socks from all of the Disney characters.
Hi, Dad.
And Minnie's like, why are you worried? You don't even wear socks. And he's like, and he takes off the shoes and he goes, no shows.
That's an interesting
And it's the weirdest
fun fact about Mickey Mouse.
It's the weirdest freaking gag in the history of
Why is
anything.
that necessary? I wonder.
I don't know, but they showed a lot of like Ren and Stimpy style paintings of Goofy's feet in that episode, and
I hate that.
They were all gnarly.
This is not convincing me to watch the show. That sounds terrible. I hate Ren and Stimpy.
The new Mickey Mouse cartoons are so good.
And Ren and Stimpy is terrible. And I will die on that hill,
Yeah.
as the creator would want me to. As the creator would wish upon me. Anthony, I added something at the last minute to the spreadsheet. I know we've got a
That's
bunch
not
of...
allowed. Number one, we don't have a spreadsheet.
What spreadsheet?
And number two, sorry.
Well,
Yep.
I'm going to ruin your day before we get into the news.
Wow.
I just feel like ruining your day.
Yeah,
I feel like fucking up your Friday a little bit.
I got that vibe.
Yeah, you're getting that vibe this morning?
I got that vibe.
Landlords in Berkeley threw a party to celebrate the end of the eviction moratorium.
Hey, did you know that landlords are the worst? Did you know there's absolutely no redeeming quality to a landlord? Did you know if you're watching this and you're like, but I just rent a property because of... You're garbage.
Yeah, being a landlord's not a job. Holding on to the thing that allows someone to live safely is not a job. Landlords don't have jobs if their only job is being a landlord. Yeah, so they threw a party, and then surprisingly, people were pretty upset.
No.
The people of Berkeley were like, hey, it might be kind of fucked up that you're celebrating kicking us out of our homes.
Yeah.
They've continued to advocate the idea that they were one of the most impacted groups by the pandemic.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Your
All
unjust land ownership.
All your free money went away?
Aww.
All your free money went away in this horrible housing bubble that you're perpetuating that makes rent more than people make in a month in most cases?
Yeah.
Oh no, nobody can actually work a full-time job at the minimum living wage and rent an apartment in any state in the union now?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
How hard for you.
It's very hard for you that really all you had over anybody else was the initial capital of a down payment, and now you get to hold that over someone's head.
Oh, and in a lot
for
of cases
potentially
they
the rest
didn't
of their
even,
life.
in a lot of cases they didn't even have that. That's just landed gentry. The property
Yeah.
is just feudal system handed down.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you know, fuck you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess absolutely fuck you. There was a protest, and then it turned violent as a landlord smacked some lady.
Sure.
Because it's a landlord?
Because they're just tenants. They're not people. You can smack a tenant.
At some point, we just have to acknowledge that these are villains. We have to start treating them like a villain.
No, you see, they don't count because they don't own a home.
Yeah.
So they clearly, if they owned a home, they would count.
Right.
But since they don't own a home,
land ownership,
you can actually smack them in the face.
Equal personhood.
For not liking what you do.
Essentially, it's very unclear as to what happened because everybody there is like, it was the landlords, and landlords are like, it was the tenants, who were protesting the event.
I don't know. I wasn't there, but I think it was the landlords. Like I wasn't there. I don't know what happened, but I think anything that happened that was wrong was the landlords probably.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They didn't. It wasn't like they threw a party at their house. They rented out a restaurant to throw a party. They held an event.
No, but they don't have any money. They don't have any money.
How did they do that?
They just have enough money for one banquet hall for all the landlords. They just have enough money for one small banquet hall. They didn't even get the ice sculpture they wanted at the party. Like, can I tell you something? It was a little embarrassing for the landlords because at their big end of eviction moratorium party, they could only afford one ice sculpture and like the passed around hors d'oeuvres. There wasn't even a spinach puff. It was like pigs in blankets. It was embarrassing.
So please.
This economic situation is embarrassing for landlords.
Will you not think of the landlords? Will you not think of it? There was a TikTok that I got this week, and part of me just needs to believe that it's not real. But it was a woman holding up her phone and playing a voicemail from allegedly her landlord that had left a voicemail saying that they had community organized a fundraiser for landlords impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and asking the tenant to donate to their landlord. And it's fucking bananas. I will put it in the Discord after this.
Do you remember the TikTok? There was that landlord tips guy on TikTok who was genuine. He was a real guy, and he was talking about how people should tip their landlord. Did you ever see this?
No, I almost did a spit take. What did you just say to me?
If you have a bad relationship with your landlord and you find that your landlord isn't doing things as quickly as you want, have you considered tipping for good service?
Good service?
Yeah. Just tip your landlord for making the roof not leak. That's good service.
You know what else? I think prisoners should also tip the correctional officers.
So do the correctional officers. That's actually not unheard of.
Well, that's bribery.
That's something that the correctional officers also believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tip your overlords.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I want to tip their center of gravity off a cliff.
Eat the landlords, everybody.
I want to just weeble them until they wobble right off the edge of the planet.
Weeble till they wobble. In the voicemail, they were like, the average donation so far has been about $1,000, which
can get a spinach puff,
which is even less than an average month's rent.
Even less. Let me tell you something.
Imagine flexing.
I'm not here to violate OPSEC or share too much of my personal information. But here's what I'll tell you. During the pandemic, work was slow. LA offered delayed rent and rental assistance.
Yeah.
I got rental assistance that paid off about half of my past rent debt. And then the rest of it is being paid off, and I have until February to pay it off. But the way they're making me pay it off is the most malicious compliance. They're like, oh yeah, you can pay it off, but you don't have access to the system online anymore. You have to keep track of it in a ledger. We'll print out a ledger for you, and then you have to keep track of it. And when you give us this extra money on top of your rent every month, you have to let us know exactly what month and year it's going towards. So it will pay back the debt, because the farther back you owe, the sooner the deadline is to pay it. And so they want you to miss the deadline. If you pay for the wrong month, they can kick you out, and they want to. And I would show up to the rental office, because you can't pay online. You have to go, and you can't pay with a personal check. You have to go to the bank and get a cashier's check.
Which also costs money.
Which costs me money out of my pocket.
Every month.
So basically, they're treating me like I have back unpaid rent, even though I don't, according to Los Angeles and California. I don't. I'm up to date. But according to their system, which worked perfectly fine during the pandemic,
Interesting.
all of a sudden they flipped a switch and the system can no longer accept partial payments, can no longer accept back payments.
How interesting.
How strange. And I would go to the rental office every month and I'd be like, okay, here it is, and here's my ledger.
Yeah, you have to pay it in $2 bills.
Yeah, and I would like, Susan B. Anthony silver dollars only.
Only, yeah.
And I would ask the person at the office, I'm like, I have my ledger, I have my check. Let's look at this together and make sure I'm doing this right. And they're like, I don't really know how to do that. It looks like this and this. I was like, but somebody needs to know because you're making this my problem. And I don't read ledgers for a living. You do.
And then they said, sit.
Who in the office?
Clap.
Yeah, they were like, can you?
Spin.
They're like, maybe if you like, okay, I know you're paying back rent. So essentially right now, I'm paying money that I owe, but that means I'm paying like 150% rent every month, which is not easy to do.
No.
Because work has not entirely returned because of various strikes and things like that. So it's not like I'm making the money I made before the pandemic. So I'm paying 150% of my rent every month. And they're like, but you could tip your landlord, and maybe that would let us help you a little bit more. We know you're paying 150% of your rent plus the money for a cashier's check, plus now you're taking a basic accounting course so you can read a ledger.
Right.
But could you also tip us for good service? We don't have any of the spinach puffs. We need a little spinny puffs.
Here's what I'll say. There's nothing in my lease that says I can't decorate my front yard with a guillotine.
Sure. I want to say that the thing that really brought this to a boil is every month for the last 3 months, they have put an eviction notice on my door. And they've given me the 72 hours to pay up or vacate. And every month I have to go to the office or call them
and be like,
no. Hey, what's going on? Here's a list of all the emails. Here's a list of everything I've done. Remember that I'm checking in with you every month. So if this isn't happening the right way, that's also on you. What would the LA Housing Department say about this? Because it seems like you all aren't following the rules correctly. And every month, a new and different person. They always have a new and different person respond to me and go, oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware.
How many people could possibly work there?
So many. And they don't do anything. I'm reading the ledgers. They don't do a single thing.
They keep getting fired for not knowing how to read ledgers, but then they hire another person who doesn't know how to read a ledger.
So yeah, all landlords can absolutely just fall in the deepest of wells.
Yeah. May every landlord choke. I want to say China is up to like a 90% individual home ownership rate.
I want to say...
I think it's 90%.
I want to say just about every country is better.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like... every country is just about better in terms of home ownership and percentage of income to rent.
Yeah. Yeah, we're speed running capitalism.
Ooh, baby, we are doing it.
Any percent.
Hey, everybody, let's just take it down, shall we?
No, let's keep it up.
No.
Let's keep going.
Listen, hey.
Eat the rich.
Hey.
Oh.
Let's move on to cooler and happier things. Folks, we got the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, we did.
Very rarely happens. We got the 1-2 punch of a Nintendo Direct on the same day as a Sony State of Play.
Do they do this on purpose?
Not always. I don't know. I think they all set dates, and then it's kind of like, fuck, they're doing it too.
You think it's an accident?
I think sometimes. I know.
Do you think, like, because of all dates, could have been off by one day.
Yeah.
Same day?
Same day.
What are the odds that it's the same random Thursday?
You there, boy, what day is it?
It's the day of the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, good. Then wait. Did I miss the Sony State of Play?
Oh, that's also today.
Ah, shit. Go buy 2 gooses.
Okay.
2 gooses today, boy.
Wouldn't that be geese?
Don't talk back to me. I'm wealthier than you and I'm a landlord. Because listen, Scrooge learned some things, but I don't think he learned everything by the end of that.
No.
We got two, and I'm going to say this. We've speculated on some of this Nintendo Direct stuff on Wednesday. And there was an FZero announcement, and we will get to it. Let's talk about everything that came out in this Nintendo Direct, because there was a lot. They opened up with the Splatoon 3 side order expansion trailer.
Yeah, they did. Also, it's for some reason not listed on this article. I think the way that it was listed individually has actually been taken down. So I'm going to pull up the Splatoon side order trailer and put it in our
Put it in nowhere. Don't even worry about it.
in our minds.
Don't
in
even
our
worry
hearts.
about it.
Got it?
So the Splatoon side order is a roguelike single player expansion.
Very interesting for Splatoon. Not usually what people are looking for in a Splatoon.
I was looking for it. I didn't know I was, but
Yeah. If you asked me, though, to describe what I want next from Splatoon, I never would have thought of it.
It's got like a cool Cali bot. It's got like you get like different ink colors that
I loved
that
this.
up your stats. It's got like the robot piranha version.
Yeah. I feel like
the robot
Splatoon-
salmon run.
Splatoon does great trailers. Always.
Oh, 100%. Also, just more amazing soundtrack work. The music is unbelievable in this.
Have you played much Splatoon 3?
Not tons. I was really into Splatoon and Splatoon 2.
I know.
And then Splatoon 3 came out, and for whatever reason, I did not get super into it.
So I think I didn't even open it yet. But like everything about the trailers have looked amazing. There's no reason for it.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's Splatoon. It's wonderful.
We talk about all our reasons to quit games. I don't have any reason to not be playing Splatoon.
I think it might have come out during a time when a bunch of other stuff was coming out, and I just missed it. But Side Order looks amazing. What's interesting about this Nintendo Direct is a lot of it is remakes and remasters.
Yes.
Which tells us and a lot of the stuff that they announced is coming out beginning of 2024, spring of 2024, summer 2024, which tells us a few things. Number one, it's definitely the end of the line for the Switch.
Yep.
And number two, that Switch 2 isn't coming out until holiday next year.
Yeah, which is very interesting because we were just talking about it on Wednesday and we were speculating a earlier in the year announcement or even a earlier in the year first batch release and a second batch at the holidays. But it sounds like first batch release is probably going to be holiday 2024.
Yeah, which makes sense because they're just printing money.
Yeah.
They're just printing money. There's no reason to release in the middle of a year.
They're going to get everything they can out of the Switch.
So first of these remakes, and I was excited about this.
Yeah.
Was Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Mario versus Donkey Kong, a puzzle platformer. Super cute. It's like toy themed.
Yeah, it's a remake of the GBA one. There was it was on the GBA and the DS, and it's technically a sequel to Donkey Kong 94 for the Game Boy.
Interesting.
Which if you have not played Donkey Kong, it's just called Donkey Kong on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And when you play the first few levels, it makes you think it's just the old school Donkey Kong arcade game. It is not. It is a million different wonderful things.
Yeah.
And Mario versus Donkey Kong is the sequel to it, and it is an amazing puzzle platformer. It's so good. If you've never played it, February 16th, 2024, Mario versus Donkey Kong is going to change your life.
Change your life.
It's going to change your ding-dang life.
I'm not a huge puzzle platformer person, so it will not be changing my life. I'll try it, and I'll go, oh, cute.
It's great.
That's all it's going to do
A
for
lot
me.
of things that 3D Mario can do come from Donkey Kong 94. Like backflip jump was Donkey Kong 94.
That's very cool.
He can do like a handstand jump. He can wall jump. All Donkey Kong 94.
There are a lot of Mario games that I acknowledge their importance to gaming and don't want to play. I just still don't want to play them.
That's fair.
Next, we got Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown trailer. We knew this was coming. This is the
Did we know it was coming for Switch though? I think we saw it during a Ubisoft Direct, but
yeah, I'm not surprised. It's coming
I'm not
to Switch. It's
surprised.
not like a huge announcement that it is. We knew about the game. We've seen the gameplay.
Yeah, and there's no reason this game couldn't be on the Switch. One thing that was interesting about this trailer to me is they mentioned that this is not the prince. This is somebody rescuing the prince.
Interesting. Interesting.
Which is weird. I was like, why isn't that guy just the prince? Just make him the prince. I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, the best reason that we can see for this, because a lot of people were disappointed by this being the game and it being like a 2D platformer instead of the game they were hoping for.
Yeah.
The best thing that I could possibly see from that is that they do have a full Prince of Persia game in the works. They're making this a side character as a 2D platformer, and they have a larger one that is following the prince potentially.
But like...
That's just a theory.
No, it's cool. And I think there should be a new Prince of Persia. I think this is them testing the waters to see if there's still enough interest for a new Prince of Persia.
Which is why I wonder if they were giving us a side character to hold on to the idea of making a full Prince of Persia
Look,
game.
I'm just going to go ahead and...
the way that the fans want.
I'm just going to go ahead and say, you could make the black guy the prince.
Yeah?
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, you could do it. That guy looks like the prince. He's dressed kind of like the Prince of Persia was dressed.
That's interesting,
He has a moveset that's similar, like...
Yeah, very well might just be that.
Like, I don't know.
It very well might be a let's not upset our weird fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems odd to me. But it looks like it's pretty good. Okay. Looks like it's pretty good. Horizon Chase 2, I am not very concerned about.
No.
It's one of those classic arcade racers. It was a fun play. The original one was a fun play. But it was a quick play for me. I was in and out of it in like an hour. I wasn't super
Can I say
obsessed.
how spoiled I am usually by Nintendo Directs that I watched this and I was like, nothing for me yet.
Not even?
Nothing for me yet. Splatoon
Splatoon a little bit.
Splatoon a bit. But like, it was hard to get this far into Nintendo Direct and be like, nothing has been made specifically to my interests in this Nintendo Direct yet.
Why aren't they speaking to me? See, now when
Nintendo is usually very for me.
Now when that happens particularly during a Nintendo Direct,
Yeah.
one of the things that I always say is, ooh, the big stuff's coming.
Right.
The big stuff's coming. Then we had a Super Crazy Rhythm Castle.
Sure.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, I mean, super cute aesthetically, very interesting looking game. Not something that I see myself running out to grab.
Yeah.
I'm not like...
A lot of shadow drops. This was one of the shadow drops.
Yeah.
This was just kind of like, hey, this is out today.
I was like, oh, neat.
I love the art style, but
Super cute.
yeah. Speaking of super cute, Spy Anya,
Yeah.
the Spy Family game where you're just Anya Forger,
Yeah.
living her life and taking pictures of her adorable day.
I haven't watched Spy Family yet. I know, and I know that I'm the worst for it. I know.
Oh my good, then you only partially understand how adorable this truly is.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's adorable.
It did make me want to watch it though. I saw this trailer and I was like, oh, I gotta.
You will absolutely
watch that
love
show.
Spy Family.
I know I will.
And you will love Anya.
We talk all the time about how hard it is to make time to watch anime specifically, where if you're going to watch it with subs, it means it needs your full attention, and that's almost impossible to achieve.
But the dub of Spy Family is very good. I watched the dub of Spy Family.
Okay.
It's good.
What a horrible noise happening at our door.
Yeah, if you can hear it. If you can't, then what horrible noise? And if you can, be cool. The next big announcement was something we knew was coming.
Yeah.
This was more about the Super Mario RPG remake, and they showed off some new stuff.
Yeah.
They showed off there's a boss rush mode after you're done with the game. They showed off triple team up moves and other special things that you can do that weren't part of the original.
Yeah.
I love Super Mario RPG. I love that this is coming.
I've played very little of it, so I'm super excited about it. It's also very funny to me because friend of the show, Aaron Stevie, recently did a full playthrough of Super Mario RPG on Twitch. And I just can't imagine being like, well, it probably would have been a lot easier to do that on this remake.
Yeah, but like I think it was one of those deals where, oh, the remake's coming. I want to play the original.
That's very cool. That's
You know?
very cool. I'm
'Cause Final
excited. I want to
'cause
play the remake.
We're going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII later, and one of
Yeah.
the things about the Final Fantasy VII remakes are they're totally different.
Yeah.
So-
Does this look very different from the original Super Mario RPG for you?
No, aside
Nintendo
from
generally does pretty one-to-one remakes.
aside from the new modes and things that they've added, and
Yeah.
obviously 3D. No, it looks the same. It comes out November 17th. Pre-orders are open today. Then we have, this was really interesting, the Another Code to Memories collection.
Yeah.
Now, the DS game this is a 2-pack of games. The first game was called Trace Memory, and it was for the DS. and I played that. The second game was for the Wii, and it never came out in the States. So this is the first time this game is going to be coming out in the States. So if you're a fan of Trace Memory, that's pretty dope.
I've never played these games, and I think that this strongly speaks to a generational divide of how old you were on the Wii and DS. Because, like, I was a kid with a Wii and a DS. This was not the kind of game my mother would buy for me or that I would ask for. So, like, I didn't know this existed. When I picture Nintendo games at that time, when I'm picturing DS games and I'm picturing Wii games, it's very much not this.
Yeah, this is like for people that were playing the silver case and stuff like that. You're more like adventure-y, visual novel-y sort of thing.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it's
very
amazing.
much appeals to me now.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I think that's why it's there. Now, this is where I think it turned into for Saige's.
Yeah, this is when to me I was like, oh, now this is a Nintendo Direct because it's for me.
Princess Peach Showtime.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
So,
hell yeah, dude.
What I love about this is Super Princess Peach for the DS was an amazing game with a main mechanic and gimmick that did not age well. It was basically like Princess Peach's super moves are her weird histrionic lady emotional states.
Yes.
It's still a fun game and it's great to play.
I played the shit out of that game.
It is so good, but it's basically like if you throw a temper tantrum, you can break a block.
I had the light pink DS Lite, and you remember the early 2000s puffy stickers?
Yes.
So it was completely covered in a set of Princess Peach puffy stickers made for the DS Lite.
Wow. And those eventually turned into just the backs of the puffy stickers.
Yeah, they got real gross
in an
when
outline.
they start lifting.
Yeah.
It was rough. But yeah, they were like the whole cover of my DS Lite was squishy.
Yeah. Somebody, Skywalker in the live studio audience is like, in Super Princess Peach, she was definitely somebody who said, I'm an empath.
Yeah.
Definitely not the best. But they took that sort of idea of different moods give you different abilities, and they expanded on it by Princess Peach goes to a theater that is like being overrun by the Sour Bunch. And she has to play characters play different roles that give her different abilities.
I love this.
There's Sword Fighter Peach. We saw Detective Peach, which is adorable as hell. And it looks like the gameplay changes depending on what kind of show you're in.
Patisserie Peach.
Patisserie Peach is so cute. So cute.
I live and die. There's a Detective Peach. It's all so much fun. I think this looks absolutely magnificent, and I'm not surprised. This is really good timing for it, post Mario movie, for a new generation of kids to have a Peach game.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy. I can't wait to play it.
And it looks like everything is kind of some of them are kind of mini games, and some of them are built out a little more.
Yeah.
Like Patisserie Peach looks like a lot of different mini games.
Fun.
Whereas like Sword Fighter Peach looks like just an action game.
Yeah.
And then Kung Fu Peach is very much like timing and parries.
Yeah.
Like it's very cool.
That's rad.
And that's
I'm very glad.
March 22nd, 2024. And that's one of those things where I'm like, that is why I think that there is no Switch 2 until the holidays.
I agree.
Because some people are like, well, what if these games show that there's backwards compatibility or there's special functionality, like a new 3DS style thing? Or I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't like to muddy the waters like that. If they do something like that, it's you can buy this Zelda for the Wii U or the Switch.
Right.
There's not one that you buy for both. We don't do that.
I will say, this is a little closer to, like, for instance, though, DS to 3DS. You could play your DS games, just pop them into your 3DS.
Sure. But you couldn't play a new 3DS game on an old 3D. Like, it's very weird.
That's true. That's true. I just mean we're back to chippies. I think we're staying chippies.
Yeah.
God, I hope we stay chippies.
We definitely
I love
are.
Nintendo chippies.
I'm interested to see what sort of backwards compatibility and Switch library and Nintendo Online library transfer they're going to make available.
Yeah.
Because right now, a huge chunk of Nintendo's yearly income comes from remakes and remasters.
Yeah.
And if you make every single Switch game backwards compatible, they lose the opportunity to do a lot of like double dipping. And Nintendo does love to do the double dip.
But they're not going to dip back to Switch yet. That's too close. They're dipping back multiple console iterations.
I mean, a lot of the most popular Switch stuff is Wii U stuff, which was only one generation behind.
That's true. I do think that the Wii U was a little bit anomalous in that it sucked and no one bought it, which you can't say about the Switch. Like, you have a lot of Wii U games that were great games that no one played because they didn't want to deal with the Wii U pad. They were just like, this is an unpleasant gaming experience I don't want. And it was like a weird time for gaming, and a lot of people weren't buying those consoles. So the Wii U was not as successful of a console as the Switch.
Yeah. I think if there's Switch backwards compatibility, then it means that these games that we just saw don't have Switch 2 releases. They have one release. It's for the Switch.
I agree.
And then, maybe if the Switch 2 is very popular, in 5 years, they're like, well, you really liked Princess Peach Showtime. What if we give you Super Princess Peach Showtime? Yeah. And it's so shiny and it's got the ray tracing.
Yeah.
Like, they might do it. They might do it.
But it does make me sad, though. And I just feel like, look, and maybe this is just me, but like, you've waited too long to give Peach her own game on this console, and you're doing it as like the end of life game as you release a new one. Just feel like, why can't we have nice things?
Yeah.
Why can't we have nice things? Why always the like last thought? But
also maybe first thought on your Switch too.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows? I'm not going to say anything about Saga Emerald Beyond because here's the thing. I don't play the Saga games.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about the Saga games, but happy Saga Emerald to everybody who
I don't know
got
a damn thing about the Saga games
Listen, the last time I played a Saga game, the Saga games were called Final Fantasy Adventure. So that should tell you how much I know.
The next thing we got was a Tomb Raider Remastered Collection. That is 1, 2, and 3.
Now, this had been talked about already, but seeing this for the Switch is dope.
Yeah. It looks great.
It looks great. Here's what I'm going to say. As somebody who has been watching a lot of the original, I watched that AI play.
Yeah.
And it really brought me back to the original Tomb Raider games. These need to be more than just a visual update. There need to be some
mechanics,
real quality of life improvements to controls.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider does not work.
Her boobs are less pointy.
Mazel tov.
So, hey, I'm just saying, less unrealistic beauty standards for women. I can't possibly make mine that pointy.
The standard was pointy?
Yeah.
That was it?
Ask Madonna, Anthony. Tell me I'm wrong.
Tomb Raider is available on Valentine's Day for everybody who considers Lara Croft their girlfriend.
You.
Yeah.
Go outside. Yeah. To that I say, go outside.
We've been saying it since 1997.
Detective Pikachu returns.
Wait, Rich Bad at Game is saying that Valentine's Day is canonically Lara Croft's birthday.
Oh, that's right. I did know that.
Because she's the world's girlfriend.
No, go outside. Jesus Christ, touch a little grass, my friend.
Detective...
Especially when she was like a rare female lead for games at the time.
Shut up. Sorry, there's nothing we could do. We just see points and we go... The pointier a lady, the more into it we are.
I need all of you to choke.
Detective Pikachu Returns. Did this latest clip from Detective Pikachu Returns make you more into it than you were before?
No.
Yeah, it's just not going to be for you, huh?
Like, the gameplay looks really fun. I was just, like, a little confused by the first one. I found it a little bit odd. I don't have nostalgia for Detective Pikachu as a game.
Right.
And that makes this a little bit difficult. I do still want to play it. A, I'll play everything Pokemon. I love Pokemon. And B, like, the detective gameplay does look very fun.
It is. It's a fun game, yeah.
I just found the performance is a little off-putting.
If your first Detective Pikachu was hearing the voice of Ryan Reynolds and watching Justice Smith.
Yeah.
Tim Goodman and Detective Pikachu from the game are stylistically a little different.
It's a little tough.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tough. And it's not just because I expect to see the movie. Obviously, in seeing the movie, I knew about the game. I had heard the game before. It is a matter of I don't like the performances and it's not Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
It's
it's because
the trailer lines were bad.
Well, it's because Ryan Reynolds didn't lean into the I'm a hard-boiled detective, and I'm talking out of a Pikachu, hey. You know what I mean? And the actual game does that a little bit more.
Yeah, it does.
It's a little more.
Does.
It's a little more simplistic, I think, a take.
It's you know.
Hey, Timmy, we gotta solve a crime. Hey.
Quasi asked serious question. What came first, Samus or Lara Croft? Samus did. Samus was the first female lead, I think, of a video game
1986.
ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Metroid.
Of like female protagonist lead.
I don't know if she was the first, but she was definitely the first. It was the first big one like that.
Yeah.
In a major game, because I want to say that by 1986, the first, Perils of Rosella hadn't come out.
I feel like I can
88.
hear Alex fact checking.
Alex is definitely fact checking.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if she was first, but she was definitely the first major on that level.
The first female lead in a video game was Billy Sue, who was the protagonist of 1982's Wabbit on the Atari 2600.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how old I am?
How old are you, Anthony?
I'm so old that I need to tell Alex that you say out loud 2600. That's how old I am.
Yeah, you felt it come over you.
Well, because it's the name. It would be like calling it an It would be like calling it an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
If somebody said, "Hey, you ever play a game on the Xbox 360, Saige?" You would be like, I'm just gonna let you know that it's.
Hey, Dagger. Dagger's just lingering.
Oh yeah, and somebody said Miss Pac-Man.
Miss Pac-Man. Yeah.
I think there were also like the first Yuji Naka game was Flowers or whatever, the one with the little girl who planted the garden, and that was on like the Sega SG-1000.
Yeah.
So there were a few, but Samus was the first one where you were like, where a lot of people were like, whoa, video game is girl?
Whoa, wait a minute.
Video game is lady?
Next up in the Nintendo Direct, we got Trombone Champ.
This game.
What a world.
It's so funny. I still laugh at Trombone Champ.
Yeah, this is hilarious. This is so funny.
I just hear what Trombone Champ sounds like, and I do love the thing that they did with the Joy-Con, where they use the fact that the Joy-Con has the camera at the end of it. And so you hold the Joy-Con.
The sensor, rather,
and then hold the sensor, the black and white camera, and play it like a trombone.
Yeah.
Which is something they haven't done since they had the...
that's so funny, because they show it up in the top left corner of this trailer.
It's something they haven't shown since they had the little buildy things for the Switch.
Yeah.
Labo. Since Labo.
You loved Labo.
I do love Labo.
You were the only person who bought Labo.
Freaking love Labo. There's so much technology built into those Joy-Cons that nobody is using at any time.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to see somebody do something with it.
I think this is fucking hilarious, and I think it's the most incredibly Nintendo thing on the planet to do.
Oh yeah.
But the fact too that they are holding it in this trailer.
They have to hold it like this because they don't want you to do what I was doing earlier.
Right. So they couldn't show somebody with their hand up to their mouth. Now, is that the actual gameplay?
You can hold it to your mouth and go like this and then move it up and down.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know what I'm doing, and it's okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're okay with it?
Because we have to show the Trombone Champ.
We have to.
It's cool.
We have
and
to.
It's fun. And it's out today.
There we go. Trombone Champ.
The next couple, Battle Crush and War Tales, Mazel Tov.
Cool.
Mazel Tov to the people who
the show's
wanted
only
that.
so long.
Yeah.
Contra. We got that Contra trailer. This is an announcement trailer for Operation Galuga?
Galuga.
Galuga.
Like baby Galuga in the deep blue sea. That's what it's based on.
Yeah, of course.
It's based on the song.
This looks super fun.
It looks cool. It's a waste of WayForward's talents, I think, to have this generic 3D look.
Yeah.
I want a little more style out of a WayForward game. This is clearly Konami gave WayForward a certain amount of dollars.
Yep.
And they spent those dollars the best way they could.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm excited because there's like a 4-player mode in it too, which looks really fun.
Yeah.
Next is Unicorn Overlord. Anything VanillaWare makes, I will buy.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were excited for
I will buy this.
Great title. Strong title.
Listen, they made Odin Sphere. They made Muramasa the Demon Blade. They are the they are the one of the last studios holding on to just really good 2D animation.
Yeah.
Hand-drawn, hand-animated stuff. And even though their stuff always looks like really deep, hard to follow, like fantasy games.
Yeah.
When you get into them, it's like punchy, kicky. It's totally fine. Don't even worry.
I've never played any of them.
So good.
I look at it and I'm like, I can't wait to see Anthony play this.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
However, next, something I will absolutely be playing, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I'm a huge Luigi's Mansion fan. I love the franchise. I think this is excellent. A lot of people did not play Luigi's Mansion 2.
No, it was a DS game.
Yeah. A lot of people that just didn't have the handheld or weren't part of that like handheld generation.
Didn't care about
hit
the
your
3DS.
GameCube and then hit your Switch and missed the Luigi's Mansion 2.
Now, here's what I'll tell you. Luigi's Mansion 2 is the worst of the three.
Yes.
But that still makes it better than most video games.
Yeah. But the mansion is the mansion that they use for Smash Bros. That's your Smash Bros map, which is very funny that it's Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yeah, that makes sense for the time.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really great about this is 4-player mode.
Yeah, which obviously we added in on Luigi's Mansion 3, so to come back and add that to this is really, really fun.
Three only had 2-player, right? Or did they have 4-player?
I'm pretty sure there's 4-player. I think there's a 4-player mode.
Was there?
Am I wrong?
Dang.
I might be wrong. I thought there was a 4-player on it.
I thought it was just 2 players and one of them's Guigi. No, Skywalker says 4-player.
Yeah, 4-player.
I thought it was just a Guigi.
Yeah.
I gotta get more
different colors of
friends.
Luigi. Yeah. I love this. This looks great. Obviously, it's a game we've seen before, but Luigi's Mansion makes me so happy.
And having them in HD is great. I don't even have a 3DS anymore, so anytime they do this...
I do still have my 3DS, but I never turn it on.
Yeah, and so put everything on the Switch. I'm fine with it.
I keep my 3DS for very specifically Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's it.
Luigi's Mansion is summer 2024. The shadow drop yesterday, the big thing, the big rumor about FZero was true. Ladies and gentlemen, FZero 99. I love the 99 games. I love them. I loved Mario 35. I loved Tetris 99. I love Pac-Man 99. And I'm going to play the hell out of this. It dropped yesterday. It's fun as hell. All I can think, though, is when are you taking it away?
Interesting.
Because all of these 99 games are limited releases.
That's true.
Maybe this one stays permanent. I don't know. But they've taken every single other one away. And I think that's such a bummer. Tetris 99, I played nonstop.
You think it'll come back, though, right?
Maybe.
I think it will.
Maybe.
I think all the 99 games are going to end up coming back, and that's why they do it. I wasn't particularly excited for anything FZero. When we were talking about it on Wednesday, I was kind of like, FZero is not really my thing. This does look fun.
It's fun.
This was the thing that they could get me with. That I was like, oh, I'd play this.
It's really fun.
Yeah. I was surprised that I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, actually. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, definitely play this and play it while you can. It's for Nintendo Switch Online members only, like the rest of the 99 games are, so you'll need one of those. We got a couple of the League of Legends games.
This one looks so cute. Bandletail looks adorable.
Bandletail, when I saw it, I was like, Saige is going to be playing the hell out of Bandletail.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And this is great. We've talked about this. It's part of Riot's whole strategy where they want to take all the characters and the settings and bring it out and bring these characters out of League of Legends because not everybody wants to play a MOBA against toxic teenagers.
Right. I mean, the League of Legends lore is so rich and so deep, and there's so many like beloved characters in it. And then obviously they've succeeded already outside of video games and like being picked up by people who don't play the game. So it makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of sense also to reach like this is such a different audience than League.
Oh, 100%.
I know no teenage boys are going to yell at me playing Bandletail, and I love that.
No, they have no ability to do so.
They have no ability to do so, and they probably won't be playing it.
The second was Song of Nunu, which looked like a 3D platformer, which looks really fun.
Yeah, cute.
But then after that...
Yeah.
WarioWare Move It, baby!
We love WarioWare in this house.
Now look, the last WarioWare they put out...
a little weak.
Was a little weak because they wanted to do just way too much gimmicky shit with it.
And I feel like they lost some of the really fun elements of the way that people used the multiplayer. I think their multiplayer was a little bit rough in it.
It's very strange. All the multi-character stuff to play different games, it was just too much.
Yeah.
This is some classic ass fucking WarioWare.
I love WarioWare.
I am so freaking hyped for this.
I can't believe we got another WarioWare on the Switch.
I'm going to play the hell out of it.
Would you have ever expected that?
No.
That they would make another WarioWare?
No, there's that. They use the camera again.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so good. I'm excited for it.
If you have never played a WarioWare game, WarioWare is what they consider to be micro games, like smaller than mini games, because each one usually only lasts a few seconds. They're very active and physical in getting up, and they take advantage of all of the technology of whatever system they're on. Which is very, very fun. They're very silly. They're super fun to multiplayer. I think they are my favorite party game.
Oh, the one for the Wii, we played nonstop.
That's WarioWare Smooth Moves.
It was very good.
Has gotten a lot of play from me.
Skipping over another few of these. 100 Heroes look great. There's an expansion pack for Eastward that turns Eastward into a farming and town sim.
Wild. I love it.
Absolutely wild. If you haven't played Eastward, it's great. It's very Earthbound-ish.
Eastward's super fun.
And the fact that they have like this DLC that's a Stardew Valley type thing, I love it. Wargroove 2, Wargroove, congratulations.
Yeah. Wargroove
Dave the
2,
Diver,
I haven't played the first one.
Congratulations. It's a great game. I'm glad it's coming to the Switch. Then we get to the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack, Wave 6, Ultra Omega. All they basically said, so here's what I like about this. Number one, we know that the Daisy course is coming out. That's the only course they announced. And the reason I like the Daisy course is it's the only canonical Luigi and Daisy are a couple thing that Nintendo has.
Yeah, so it has that big fountain in the center that they're literally like holding hands and reaching out. It's adorable.
Yeah. Canonically, this is the monument to their love is the Wii Daisy circuit course. But
that's what made them official.
The other things that they announced were all characters. So we don't know about any other tracks.
Yeah.
But we get Funky Kong, we get Diddy Kong, we get Pauline and Peachette. I keep forgetting that Bowsette isn't real.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Bowsette is just a fan thing and it's not real.
Yeah, it's just cosplay.
But like, why is Bowsette not real?
But Pauline.
Are you a Pauline girl?
I'm so excited to have Pauline.
You know, I love Pauline. You know I'm a Daisy person. So as long as Daisy's there, I'm happy.
Peachette is very interesting to me.
Peachette is... Make Bowsette real.
Peachette is always fascinating to me. It's just very funny to me because Nintendo created this naming convention of adding "et" to characters to make them the femme version.
Yeah, and Peach is already the femme version of Peach.
So making Peachette is the funniest thing in the world to me. It feels like a hilarious fuck you to their own naming convention, and I love that, genuinely.
I think whoever at the treehouse decided that it was going to be Peachette was definitely having that kind of fun with it.
That's too funny.
We also got some Among Us news. Congratulations to all who celebrate. But then the big thing that we did not see coming, and I saw this book open at the beginning of the trailer. I said, nah,
no
dog.
way.
I said, nah,
I
dog.
did the same thing. I was like, it couldn't be.
Nah, dog, no way. Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door.
Which is my favorite Paper Mario.
Best Mario RPG game in the series.
I agree.
It doesn't matter whether you're talking DS Superstar Saga style stuff. It doesn't matter whether you're talking the OG, the Paper Mario, whatever you're talking about. 1,000-Year Door is the best Mario RPG game ever.
Now, are we both GameCube fanboys? Yes, we are. And this was the GameCube Paper Mario. So every time somebody's remaking a game from the GameCube, I'm going to be like, well, thank you for remaking the best version of that game. But truly and honestly, this is pretty universally loved as at least the best Paper Mario.
This is like empirically, when people come to me and they say Superstar Saga is actually my favorite, I go, all right. Sure.
But Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door, a brilliant game. I'm so excited. If you haven't played it, I'm very excited that you now get to.
And people are saying, so here's my question about this. It looks beautiful, and nothing that I'm saying here is in any way to denigrate this.
Okay.
People are saying, oh my God, full remake. Is it, or is it the continuation of that upscale emulation with new texture technology that we saw during the Mario 3D All-Stars for Sunshine? Which, by the way, I thought was a very good technology. We talked about it at the time, and I was like, it's actually crazy how they pulled this off.
My suspicion, based on it being the button on the Nintendo Direct was that it's a full remake. I feel like a upscale, essentially, like an advanced version of an upscale would not be the button on a Nintendo Direct. To me, this looks like a remake, and I am leaning towards thinking it is a full remake.
But I think that's what they want us to think.
Maybe.
And I think if they have the technology to do this, if Nintendo ERD is able to do this well,
do you think it can?
Then I mean, if you look at the way Sunshine looked.
Sunshine looked great.
Sunshine looked amazing.
Sunshine is also one of my favorite
all
games.
new textures. They injected totally new textures into it. They upscaled it so it was clean.
Yeah.
I do think this could be the next generation of that technology, which means a lot more ports and remakes will be coming our way, which
is
would be
good.
wonderful.
Here's what I'll say, no matter what, it looks great.
I think it looks wonderful. I love that they end with the computer.
Yeah.
It's like, could it be that you love me? I freaking love that side story.
I love it.
It has two of my favorite storylines in any Mario game, which is number one, the computer that falls in love with Peach, and number two, Luigi being off on his own RPG adventure that you never see.
Yeah.
But you keep meeting up with him and he's like, buddy, I was just in the Chocolate Kingdom and you wouldn't believe what happened. Like,
I love it. I think that's brilliant. I think everything about it is super, super fun. Now, we've spent a lot of time on the Nintendo Direct because we're Nintendo girlies at the end of the day.
But State of Play had some good stuff too.
Yeah.
I will say this, there wasn't as much in State of Play that I was super, super psyched about, but they had a
lot
couple,
of people are, though.
They had a couple big games that they really needed to hit.
Yeah.
Which made a lot of sense. I want to say, first of all, shout out to friend of the show, Sean Benson, for hosting. Nice. I was very excited to see her. She's big in the portfolio team over at Sony, and she's doing a wonderful job. We got the Final Fantasy Rebirth release date. February.
Rebirth, release.
Yeah.
I said it right.
Realize.
And that's how I meant to say it.
Mm-hmm. February 29th, 2024. 2 discs.
Yeah.
Mazel tov, everybody.
Spider-Man 2 trailer.
This is huge because this was their open world trailer.
Yeah.
Showing off more of what's going on in New York. We have 3 boroughs now, though it looks like, according to the map, they've cut back and we're only doing parts of Manhattan.
Okay.
But we're doing parts of Manhattan and then all of Queens for Peter and all of Brooklyn for Miles.
So cool. They
also say that you can swap between the characters pretty much on the fly with no loading because of PS5.
Because PS5, baby.
It's a pretty big deal. They also talked about a lot of the, some of the missions are obviously Peter only, some of the missions are Miles only, but a lot of the missions you can swap. They talked about how you can see a lot of cues now for the missions that are just sort of like in the world. They're diegetic. So like, instead of being like, hey, look over there in 1,000 meters, you might see something.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you see a Talon drone fly by and you're like, oh, mission. And you know, a lot of the missions in the Spider-Man games were like that, but some of them were very much like, can you go here to this checkpoint? Yeah. And they're sounding like they kind of gotten rid of a lot of that.
Very, very cool. This trailer looked amazing. I will plug in my PS5 for this.
Oh, yeah. They talked about a lot of the new costumes, too. They said 36 costumes with 200 different permutations.
Ooh.
So different accessories and colors and things that you can do.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is going to be very, very good.
Obviously. We got Resident Evil 4 Remake DLC. We got Separate Ways in VR mode.
Right. So Separate Ways is the Ada Wong version of Resident Evil 4, which is fun. I like that. I'm excited.
Did you play the 4 remake?
A little bit, but not tons.
I didn't play it.
The thing that I'm very interested in seeing, though, is the VR mode.
Yeah?
They've been doing a great job with the new Resident Evil VR modes.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm excited to see, because I think 4 they've really, really been working on. And I think it's going to be the first one that was like really thought of with VR in mind.
Here's what I'll say. They've always nailed it on VR, because 7 in VR, even going back, was incredible.
Yeah, it was great. But when I say this is the first one with VR in mind, I think what I'm thinking of is like, I remember moving around, like 7 was basically like play 7 in first person mode in VR. And it was like, okay, that's cool that I can do it. It's also going to make me motion sick.
Fair.
Because-
At the time, very impressive.
Yeah. This one looks like they really thought about how to make it work.
Yeah.
Tales of Arise and Helldivers 2, congratulations for all who celebrate. Avatar, I gotta talk about the Blue Cat game. Now, I still have not seen a Blue Cat film.
You haven't seen the first one?
I don't think I have.
Really? I didn't know you hadn't seen the first Avatar. I didn't even watch the second one.
I think I only know about it through cultural osmosis, and it looks ridiculous to me.
Oh, that's so funny. So I've seen the first one. I did not see the second one, and I have been on Disney World's Flight of Pandora.
Yeah, where the shaman and the bicycles. Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's a pretty fun ride.
Cool ride.
I will say that's been my favorite part, my favorite piece of Avatar media.
Sure. My favorite piece of Avatar media is the Nermal.
Nice. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's Nermal? Okay. This looks like a video game. And it looks like a video game set in the Avatar universe. And it looks like you can do things. You can shoot and walk and ride a thing. And that's what Avatar is. You were, instead of being a person who gets turned into cat, you were cat that was raised by person, and now you must learn how to be cat again.
Okay.
It looks good.
What?
Visually, it looks beautiful.
I know that I live in a space on the internet where I hear back my own opinion a lot. Like, we've curated a space very much. However, it does feel like Avatar is the thing that no one is asking for, and then we keep getting shoved down our throats anyways. But I know a lot of people saw it.
Oh, the
and
world
I know a lot
loves
of people
Avatar.
like it. But I don't know any of those people.
I don't know any of them.
I don't know any of them in real life. I don't.
Actually,
none of them.
Jeff Kanata really loves Avatar. He actually thinks Avatar's pretty dope.
I'm just like, I watched the first one and I was like, oh, what a weird white savior movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's done. We probably won't do this again,
Yeah,
right?
I fern gullied my last rainforest.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, well, this is probably the last we'll have to deal with this. And now it's been what, 10 years? And I'm like, we're still doing Avatar? Fascinating.
I nearly went to see the second one just because it had bits that were projected in 48 frames a second.
Yeah.
And you know how I like a gimmick. You know how I like an industry gimmick.
Yeah.
But it looks like you can ride horse and bird.
Yeah.
You can shoot arrow and flamethrower. And you can do Ripley and get into mech.
This is how you mech.
So that looks like Avatar.
Fraud Monet said, I think it's okay. 6 out of 10. Is that anything? I think that's the most that we have in our community.
I think it's fine.
Because, like, we don't hate Avatar.
No, it looks fine. But I think
it's all just like
when I see a trailer for Avatar, I can tell you what Avatar is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are like, have you seen Avatar? I was like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Man turned into cat, rethinks being man, but also great cat. I get it. Let's talk more about our friend Bennett Foddy's latest game instead, Baby Steps.
Okay.
Because Baby Steps looks like a really good video game.
We've shown the previous trailer
Look,
for Baby Steps, and
here's
it
the thing.
is about a baby man stepping.
If you want to know who we are right now, we thought Avatar looked fine and Baby Steps looks like the fucking game of the year. If you want to know who we are,
Look at this game.
right now,
Yeah. Where we're at.
if you want to know what sort of channel you're watching, the game that 1,000 people have worked on for a decade that looks like a beautiful AAA video.
Yeah.
Dope. Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good harvest to you and yours.
This was probably my favorite thing. I'm gonna say second to Spider-Man in
Yeah.
this entire showcase.
Dude, the bit with the bit that where he talks about the grapple. Oh, this grapple point, man. Oh yeah, fucking I'll just use my fucking grapple. Yeah, just use your fucking grapple, man. Yeah, I'll just fucking grapple to it. Yeah, just fucking grapple to it. And then the guy runs away and he doesn't, he's like, where would I have a fucking grapple? And he just like it's so good.
I love this weird video game. I love this. I love that we are in a place in time where this is not just a video game that exists, because people have been making weird video games independently for a very long time.
Yeah.
But this is in a fucking Sony state of play.
Yeah. Dude, Bennett Foddy has made this game over and over.
Yeah.
Starting with QWOP.
Yep.
And he has made it in new and interesting and different ways.
And each one a little bigger than the last.
And each one monumentally more popular than the last.
And weirder.
Yeah.
It gets weirder every time, too.
This is the Foddy.
Yeah.
This is the perfect, this is the final form of Foddy.
The next thing we got was a Honkai Star Rail trailer and release date for the PS5. It is coming October 11th.
Genshin in space.
It's Genshin in space. Space trains.
Genshin, space trains. Bop, bop,
space
bop,
trains,
bop.
Questionable babes.
Bop, 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 bop.
That's Hoyoverse, you know?
That's the Hoyoverse, everybody.
Yeah.
So the next one we have is an announcement for the Foam Stars open beta.
Nice.
Now, Foam Stars, we looked at and we were like,
Splatoon?
Square Enix is just making Splatoon. I have heard from people who have played that it is way more than that. And
it looks really fun.
It looks really fun. It's doing its own stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very, the more I see of it, the more I'm into it.
I'm into it. I absolutely want to play. I think it's a game we should play together.
Yeah. Its open beta is September 29th to October 1st for North America.
That's a tiny little open beta.
It's a little beta, little baby beta, little beta weekend for you.
Oh man,
I think you're gone.
I'm gonna be in San Francisco. I'm gonna miss the open beta.
You're gonna miss the beta.
Oh no!
Oh no!
The last thing is new PlayStation 5 colors.
Congratulations to everyone who celebrates.
Congratulations to everyone who hasn't gotten a PS5 yet and can instead be like, I want a cool red PS5. I actually think it's
remember
cool.
that these colors are you buy the shields. So
that's right,
everybody
these are plates.
Yeah, everybody can buy these plates. If you want a red, you can have a red.
But do they also? I mean, you can also buy it as a red. I
think
believe.
so.
I don't think they just sell it as the plates. I think you can buy it.
Yeah, but you don't have to
it.
worry about like you missed out on it.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. But you know, great.
Do you like any of the colors?
Sure.
I think the silver is a little
fine.
weird because it just looks kind of like the white. Like I don't see a big enough difference in that. I think they could have given us a third actual color. Like why would I plate my white PS5 to a light silver PS5?
Yeah.
Fine.
I don't, the red and the blue, they're not colors for me.
They're not colors for me.
They're very basic red and blue.
They're very, but like it's PlayStation. So like red and blue, it makes sense. But they're very rich colors and I do think they actually look kind of neat.
Yeah.
I don't want it in my house.
I've thought about getting the black plates a couple times.
I think the black plates are kind of neat. But also, how many times have you paid more to get white tech?
I have, but I just think for whatever reason, the PS5 looks silly in the white and black. Because
Really?
because when I pay extra to get like, when I got the white PS4,
Yeah.
it was all white.
Yeah.
There was very little anything else to it.
You don't like the black and white together. Interesting.
No, I don't know. And also I'm never gonna buy any of these plates because all my consoles are behind doors in my media thing.
Do you
that
just want
can't see.
non-stock? Like you want it to not look like the basic?
I honestly don't care about it very much anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if I'm honest, like I realize that most of my stuff is just behind a closed door in my entertainment center. Whereas like when I went through that period where I was just getting all the white versions of everything, I was I want this to just look a little nice and different in my house.
Okay.
But now I can't even really see the stuff.
This was a separate announcement as we're moving on to it, but Hades 2 is coming into early access sooner than expected. The Hades 2 early access will be between April and June of next year. People were expecting to wait a little bit longer into 2024 for Hades 2. So that's pretty exciting. That's pretty quick of getting the sequel out and together.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think they're doing a really great job of capitalizing on the love for Hades and keeping it alive.
God, I love Hades so much.
Yeah.
Hades is such a good game. I can't wait till I can play Hades 2.
Wow. April to June.
I can't wait.
You have to wait till April.
No.
Yeah, probably like.
What if
between April and
instead now?
Hey,
Hey,
you want to give us early access?
Hey, Supergiant. Hey, Amir, what's going on, bud?
Anthony,
hit me up, dog. Greg, where you at?
Anthony, you want to talk about a bit of business?
Yeah, we can talk about a bit of business. Can we, before we talk about a bit of business, Saige?
Bit of busy?
Can I throw a total wild card at you?
Sure.
Can I throw a total wild card at you
I suppose you may.
and Alex and go all the way back up to where I guess it would be Monday in a spreadsheet if we had a spreadsheet? I just want to mention something very quick under the pop culture section that if we don't mention it now, I feel like we never will.
Okay.
I want to talk about Stephen King for a second. I want to talk about the father of modern horror, Stephen King, the scariest man who writes books.
Okay.
And I want to talk about the weirdest thing I've ever heard about Stephen King ever.
Uh-huh.
Stephen King and his wife Tabitha nearly got a divorce a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
Do you know why they nearly got a divorce, Saige? Because Stephen King loved the song Mambo No. 5 so much that he would play it nonstop at their house to psych him up to write horror novels. He would listen to Mambo. He bought the extended dance remix of Mambo No. 5 and would listen to it nonstop to hype himself up to write books. Scary books.
This only continues my theory that all creatives are neurodivergent.
He was working, this was 2011. He said he was working on his book about the guy who goes back in time to prevent the assassination of JFK, the one that was turned into a Hulu show.
Yeah.
And he just would play over and over and over again before he wrote his book about the man who had to save JFK.
It was like my favorite song as a kid. I was also obsessed with Mambo No. 5.
Who is your favorite?
6.
Denise, Angela, or Rita?
Rita.
Rita was my favorite as well.
I don't know. I feel like a song that should not have been for children.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was a real like it was really.
Hey, all he's doing with them is mamboing. You know? As far as you know. That's all he said. He just wants a little bit of Tabitha in his life.
So
but not Tabitha King, because she heard that song so much that she said, Master of Modern Horror, Stephen King,
I will divorce you.
I will divorce you if you play that fucking Lou Bega song again.
So it came out in the summer of 1999. So I was born in 1995. So the age that I loved Mambo No. 5 is deeply complicated.
Wait.
What?
The song came out in 99, but Stephen King only really got into it in 2011 when he was writing his book.
Wait, it was in 2011?
He wrote that book in 2011.
No.
Stephen King, the song came out in 99, but he got really into it in 2011.
That makes this so much better.
He had heard it. Like, sure, he had heard it. It was like number 1 on the charts or whatever, but like he hit a point in his life in the year 2011 where he said, do you know what really gets me going? Do you know what I've really kind of just locked into?
Yeah.
Mambo No. 5.
I mean, I'm kind of doing that with Oingo Boingo and Tears for Fears right now.
Well, the Tears for Fears is definitely timeless. Oingo Boingo has some timeless ones. To say that Lou Bega's Mambo No. 5 is as timeless as an Oingo Boingo or a Tears for Fears is a big thing to say.
It's basically weird science.
Do you know that?
It's probably on the same level as weird science.
Do you think that he just spent a good 12 years waiting for Mambo No. 6, and when it didn't happen,
he was like, I'm going back.
I got to do if this is the best I'm getting, this is what I'm going to do.
I'd like to think.
He traveled through the hole in the wall that took him back to 1963. He knew that he was the only one that could save John F. Kennedy and
a little bit of Monica in my life.
A little bit of Rita by my side.
I'm so sorry, Alex.
No, that was beautiful. Keep going.
What? What is Stephen King about, man?
Oh my God.
I love it.
I'd like to think he had actually never heard it until 2011. And then it came on one day, or like somebody had it.
Do you think he had to Shazam it?
Yeah, I think it was playing in like a retail store. And he was like, what is
Because 2011 was also
beautiful
everybody
music?
was Shazamming everything.
Yeah. I think he Shazammed it in like a Macy's.
I've got a fun fact about Mambo No. 5.
Oh, let's hear a fun fact about Mambo No. 5.
Apparently, there is a Bob the Builder version of Mambo No. 5 that debuted at number 1 on the UK singles chart in 2001.
You can't trust the UK singles chart because they'll put shit like Crazy Frog at number 1.
And
They'll
it
put
was
things like the Crazy
removed.
Frog at number 1. Bing a dang 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 bing a dang dang.
It was
Hey.
removed from a playlist after September 11th because the song was too frivolous in light of the news. So
Yeah. No, wait, I'm sorry. Did they say that the children's song needed to be removed from the charts because
Yes.
of 9/11?
yes, they took it off because of 9/11.
It's
So
look,
Bob the Builder was actually robbed of his time on the charts.
I love stuff
How
like
long
this.
do we think? Wait, how long was it on the charts before it was removed?
When
Well,
did
it came
come
out on the 9th of September, 2001.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Cut down in his prime.
You know, I do love
Who was
things
the
like
real
this.
victim?
Stop. You put that away. You put that joke away. Anthony, it is currently September 15th. 15th. I need you to shut your mouth.
We talk a lot, but there are some victims that we don't talk enough about.
You know,
Bob the Builder's musical career cut down in a shambles. He could have gone for weeks on that chart. I think Crazy Frog was there for 3 years. If we have anybody that's watching from the UK, please confirm, was Crazy Frog number 1 in your country for 3.5 years? Because I feel like it was.
I was absolutely the Crazy Frog child generation.
Yeah.
It was made for me.
Did you play Crazy Frog Racer?
No.
The videoed game?
No, but I had it on an iPod
Hell yeah.
for choosing to listen to it. For when I would want to choose to listen to Crazy Frog.
Oh, God. People in the chat are saying it was actually 7 years. Non-binary Niffer is saying, actually, Crazy Frog is still number 1 in our hearts. And that's a good thing about the UK that we can say.
Wait, Gina Marie D also said, please, Alex, look up the list of songs that were banned from the radio the day after 9/11. It's so interesting. There's a whole list.
We simply do not have time.
We don't, but we do have a Patreon exclusive to do today. So maybe we will read the entire list of songs banned from the radio.
There are definitely a bunch.
Oh, there's a bunch.
Hey, we dedicate this episode to Bob the Builder.
Okay, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to speed run a couple of pieces of news.
No.
Too bad. Well, here's something very interesting to me. A couple of these revolve around weird stock choices. FaZe Clan has their stock has officially dropped to 18 cents on the NASDAQ and is probably about to be removed because
First of all,
there is a minimum
congrats.
of $1. Because it turns out, in a shocking turn of events, FaZe Clan bad. FaZe Clan, not good. They basically spent all of their money like complete chumps and fools. They spent all of their money
because you can't say what FaZe Clan does.
Nope.
Like you can say like, oh, they were like an esports thing, but weren't they supposed to do more than that? And then all I know is that what they do is they take terrible people and make them put FaZe in front of their name and then shove them in your face.
And Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg, who thought he couldn't get his camera on to stream when he joined FaZe Clan, got very angry, screamed and yelled at his camera, not knowing he was live, and then left it on for 18 hours, if I remember correctly.
FaZe Clan paid Snoop Dogg $2.6 million in restricted stock to do that. So,
Which is now worth probably $38.47.
So, rough. That's rough for Snoop Dogg.
That's what Snoop Dogg said. He said, woof.
Woof for Snoop Dogg.
He said, woof, woof.
There's a whole expose that was done into FaZe Clan that I did find very, very interesting. It was a Bloomberg article that went out just digging into all of their irresponsible financial choices over the last few years, about when their current CEO came on, they literally made no money. And he was like, it has to make money. Why isn't it making money?
They let dogs bite people.
Yeah, they would bring a dog into the office that was notorious for biting employees.
They would what they did, what their business model was to make Snoop Dogg mad.
Yeah.
And then bring in a real dog to the office and let it bite people because they also made that dog mad.
Lee
They
Trink.
make real and fake dogs angry. That's what FaZe Clan is.
Lee Trink, the the president, I believe, FaZe Clan
America?
said it on here. The president of the United States of America, Lee Trink.
I am not keeping up with the news.
He's the CEO. He is the CEO. Said in June, FaZe is definitely going to weather it.
Yeah.
FaZe is no stranger to controversy. It's why we're so compelling.
What is
FaZe?
What is compelling? What is FaZe? Did you ever see the Smurfs? Not the 3D movie, but like the animated Smurfs movie from like way back in the day, the Smurfs and the Magic Flute. And there were these two humans that found the Smurf village. And one of the big things is they were like, what does Smurf mean?
Yeah.
And they kept trying to figure out how to use Smurf in a sentence. And the Smurfs they'd be like, could you bring me a Smurf? And the Smurfs would be like, here you go. And they'd be like, that's not what I wanted. And they'd be like, could you, like, what kind of Smurf is it today? And they'd be like, the Smurfs were like, we don't know what you mean. And the
FaZe.
What does it mean?
What does it mean to be FaZe? It means to post videos about vaping conventions, pranks about pretending to get a woman pregnant, and playing Call of Duty. That's what FaZe means.
FaZe had a $60,000 a month rental bill for luxury properties used to film its videos and house staff.
Yep.
Trink himself had a diamond F necklace in the shape of the FaZe logo. Stars like Nick Merckx Kolchak, I don't know who this is, was given multi-year contracts worth $500,000 a year.
Yep.
Trink himself was paid $731,000 in 2022. And then Snoop,
Also,
my God.
paid $730,000 to be CEO while they were racking up immense debt as a company.
FaZe's debt by the end of 2021 was $70.8 million. And in the first half of 2023, they made a loss of $28 million.
Jesus.
What do they do? Like, what do they do? What do they do?
They describe themselves as a lifestyle brand. They're kind of
like Goop?
like thought leaders.
They're like Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop?
Yeah. They're Goop for the boys.
They're Martha Stewart living for the boys?
Yeah. They're Betty Crocker for the boys.
Are you telling me the boys are in the house?
I'm telling you the boys
What are you telling
getting
you?
evicted.
And then what are you telling me?
I'm telling me and I'm telling you that the boys are in the house
What?
until the eviction moratorium gets them kicked out of that house.
Are you trying to tell me the boy? Are you trying to tell me some boys' house?
No,
this?
I'm trying to tell me. Are you telling me a FaZe boys this house?
Are you telling me she phased on my debt until that?
Anyways, very bad, not worth no money, gonna get kicked off the NASDAQ.
I still don't know what they are.
They're goopy boys. I think that Leafing would really enjoy being compared to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Shout out to my goopy boys.
As a thought leader. As a thought leader in the space. Which space? Could be any space. Just
Honestly,
a space.
now that I think about it, we did need less singing and more building from Bob the Builder right after 9/11.
Yeah. Just to come back to that. I didn't want to end the show without touching on the Unity issues.
Oh, Lord, are we getting into the Unity stuff?
We have to touch it really quickly because it's going to be old news by Monday.
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord almighty. Here we go.
Unity, a platform that a lot of your favorite games have been developed on, is changing their cost model for how they charge developers to create things to a per download fee.
Right.
Now, there was a lot of misinformation about this, about when that activates, because there were a lot of free-to-play games, smaller games, indie developers that were worried about being hit by this, and a lot of them will be.
Right.
But
there was misinformation, and then there were walkbacks and statements made by Unity.
All of the above.
There was a lot of confusing stuff, but basically what it came down to was Unity was turning into, I believe it was, if you have 200,000 installs and you've made $200,000 in revenue, they are going to start charging you 20 cents per install.
Yes.
Now,
and that was after $200,000 in revenue, which is not very much for a fully staffed video game company.
Well, and it's also not a lot, like a lot of people were saying, hey, I'm a free-to-play game that's ad-supported. Does this count against ad revenue? And Unity said yes. Now, the problem with that is to make $200,000 in ad revenue, you might have 2 million installs of a free-to-play mobile game.
Yep.
And that means you immediately, 2 million times 20 cents means you're in big debt.
So because it is per install, developers were very worried also about things like, okay, well, you might buy the game once on Steam and install it on 3 different devices. Am I going to get charged separately for all of it? Initially, it seemed like they were going to. It seems like Unity has possibly walked that back now. They say, no, we've got the technology to track because it's not per purchase. It is per install.
But then end users started going, how are you tracking this?
And they're like, we don't want to tell you that.
And it's like, well, you have to tell us that because this sounds like some crazy DRM that we don't want to get involved with.
Unity won't tell you currently. There is no update to that information. And of course, developers are pissed off. You had the developers of Cult of the Lamb going public and saying, okay, we'll just delete the game. They're not going to delete the game.
Finji came out against it. Mike Bithell came out against it. Everybody who's done AA. Basically, the reason why Unity is as popular as it is because if you needed a game engine and you didn't have the money of a AAA studio, Unity was there for you.
Yeah.
Unity was the thing that allowed a lot of the indie boom to happen.
Yep.
So when you're saying like we're now going to ask you to per install, it's like, well, what if they uninstall and reinstall the game?
Yep.
How do you track that? What do you do? What about, and this was a huge one, what about my game getting listed on Game Pass or on PlayStation Plus?
Yep.
Who pays then? And they said, and this is the wildest shit.
Yeah.
They said, don't worry, we're going to make Microsoft and Sony pay for that. Are you?
Are Microsoft and Sony going to agree to that?
Are you? Let's take a look. Hey, can we cut to the Sony and Microsoft lawyers right now laughing? Absolutely laughing.
Truly.
At these people?
Not a goddamn chance that's going to happen. Absolutely not. There was also concerns of new ways to essentially hate bomb games by somebody playing something that's free to play and then being like, everyone install this so they get charged a bunch of money to like hate bomb the game with installs that cost the developers money and puts them out of business.
Yeah. Very, 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 very bad mathematically.
It's all super, super rough. The statements that have been released when people were like, well, why isn't this just a rev share? Like, why not just do rev share then if you need to make money on this?
That's what every other engine does.
We think that it'll slow down the process for developers to have to try and put in place a rev share after making the game. So instead, we're just going to put this in from the beginning to make it easier for devs.
What they want is they don't want any friction between them and collection of funds.
But you know what?
And that's the thing. They want, now we have to like prove your rev share. We've got to go through, you've got to go through your documents. You've got to submit stuff to us. It takes a little bit of time. They don't want that.
Nope.
They want an instant thing that goes into a backend that says, 20 cents, please. Every time, please.
You know what was
we'll
very
just debit
interesting?
that from your account, please.
The CEO, I believe. I want to double check because I consistently confuse CEO and presidents of companies. Sold off a whole lot of stock right before this announcement.
Yeah, that tracks.
How interesting. It seems like they knew it was a bad idea. It does make it seem like...
It does seem like a bit of insider trading here.
It does seem like something that you would call insider trading when you sell off a bunch of stock at a high price the day before you know your stock's about to dip. And it did. The stock took a huge hit the next day.
If you
from
go
Unity.
into any developer community right now, from large to small, it's people figuring out how to swap from Unity.
Yep.
Or how to get off of Unity, how to start on a new engine, and which engine will be best for their project, all of this stuff.
Once again, the developers of Cult of the Lamb were saying, like, our team specializes in Unity devs. In order to do this, we are going to have to learn entirely new skill sets. The amount that it will delay the upcoming games we had in the pipeline is massive for us.
There are people with games that are signed on with deals to be published, to be on platforms right now. They're like, I am not allowed to, I'm under a contract.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do. I can't get out of my publishing contract, but now I have to, but I can't stop using Unity.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to, it's a very bad scene. Now I will say this, it's as bad a scene as this is. some stuff happened that should not happen ever under any circumstance. The Unity office had to close among what they called credible death threats and threats against their staff.
Don't be fucking weird.
Don't be fucking weird. This is going to implode. It's obviously going to implode. They're not going to be able to do this. There is no need to get fucking weird and horrible.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The people who work at the office most likely were not in any way involved in this decision. People who just work for Unity did not show up to work this morning and be like, honestly, fuck indie devs. This sounds fun. We all as a collective have decided, popping champagne. We all as a collective have decided that we think this is a good idea. You know that there was some top level executives that were in a meeting that decided this, that has impacted everybody who works there, that probably don't want that to be the case. And don't call in death threats. Unless it's a landlord who is celebrating you getting evicted, which I say, but I'm just kidding.
Here's the thing that's wild. Every developer I know that uses Unity doesn't even like Unity.
Right.
The only reason people are using Unity is because literally it is the only thing that makes economic sense for their studio.
Not anymore.
But as this has been happening, Unreal has been getting better and better about their license. And people are just like, are we just an Unreal studio now?
Yeah.
Are we just giving basically 100% of the games industry over to Unreal now? Is that what we do?
It is a very bold choice because it does feel like Unity, like everybody at Epic Games woke up this morning and was like, no, they didn't. Oh my God, no, they didn't. Oh my God, this is going to be so good for us.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This is so cool.
Oh my God. Oh
this
my God.
is so cool.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is going to be like the thing that this makes me think of the most was the Xbox One thing of your console was going to have to always be connected to the internet no matter what. And there's no used games and you can't sell games.
And PlayStation
you can't rent
was
games.
just like.
And PlayStation released that video that was like, here's how you lend a game to a friend on PlayStation. Here you go. And it was just like, boom.
What a good little day.
Unreal is tweeting about that. They have a mega thread of free online learning content that they put out 3 hours ago.
Dude, let me tell you, as somebody who's been learning Unreal, they have a lot of content for learning Unreal. They make it very easy to learn Unreal. So yeah, this is a very interesting thing. I think it's very bad in the short term.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. It's bad in every term.
It's bad for developers. It's bad for people who play games.
Yep.
It's bad for the industry because there's already enough consolidation of engines. There are already so few options out there.
We all know that when there is a lack of competition, there is also a lack of motivation for creators to innovate the technology like Unreal.
This is an example of a company going, oh, they can't do this without us.
Yep.
We can do whatever we want now.
Yep. So Unreal now has a potentially terrifying monopoly, which also makes it hard for new engines to come up because then you're competing with the one monolith. It's bad for the whole industry.
The Godot engine is free and open source. And very comparable to Unity in a lot of ways.
But that is all of the news that we have time for today. I just want to make sure that we touched on it because it is a big deal for games right now. And I wanted to make sure that, we acknowledge as people that love and play so many indie games, like, this is a bummer.
I hate to 4D chess this because I'm not a 4D chess person. Do you think that they released this and they have a secondary plan in the works and it's one of those deals where it's like, we'll release a plan that looks so bad that when we walk it back to what we actually want, they'll just accept it? Or are they just idiots?
I'm going to personally go with the latter. I don't think it's a 4D chess. I think they are about to walk it back. I do think that they're about to have to adjust their plan. But by the fact that you have the executives going out on interviews and being like, no, it's good for devs.
Yeah.
We promise it's good for devs. By the fact that they're press touring about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's possible that, you could have those executives buying back low and then putting out the new plan and being like, oh no, my stock's worth so much money now.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
It's all very interesting.
Earlier in the chat, Snake Zero was like, well, that's definitely going to be investigated for insider trading. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Never will.
No, it's not.
Hey.
All the big companies are insider trading, and they're just doing it and getting away with it.
Hey, you're not cool unless you're insider trading. Sorry.
For legal reasons and factual reasons, that is a joke.
For factual reasons, it's pretty cool.
Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you for spending some of your morning with us, and thank you for supporting us during the show. The number one way you can do so is just by being here, and you have already done that. Our show is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. But Anthony, when we're not live here, what are you doing?
Just chilling mostly, but
Yeah.
if you want to see what kind of chilling I'm doing, you can follow me everywhere at Carboni and here on Twitch at Anthony Carboni.
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And stick around, there's new things coming here. Go ahead and check out the Patreon. You will have a bonus clip from a lot of the stuff that we haven't had a chance to get to this week from here. And maybe we'll talk about all the songs that were removed from the charts from 9/11.
Never forget.